time to do the 25-cent trigger job, as they call it, on this Glock 23. I had a lot of requests from people who told me in the comments that they'd like to see this video, so like I said, I'm going to do it for you. On the table, what you'll see right here is what I'm going to use, is the Flitz polish. You do not have to use this. You can use Mother's Mag Wheel polish as well as any other kind of metal polish that you have or that you want to buy. This is just what I'll be using. Here's the parts that you're going to need. You need the trigger bar, the safety plunger, and the connector, which this is my new Ghost Ultimate connector. Now, very important, if you do not know how to detail strip a Glock and you need to see how to do that, I am going to put a direct link below in the description box that you can click on that is a full video in HD of me detail stripping and reassembling a Glock. I put a lot of work into that video, and I just really don't want to do another one right now. So all you got to do is click that link down there, detail strip the Glock, and then come back to this video when you get the parts out, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so I'm going to show you the contact points that you're going to have to hit. I'm going to show you and use some Q-tips, and then I'm going to go off camera and come back when the parts are done, because it would take just too long for you to watch me entirely polish the parts by hand. You can use a Dremel if you want, but the main thing is with a Dremel is do not do too much. You don't want to cut any metal or take any steel off. You could really mess these up, guys, if you use a Dremel. You got to be really careful. So I'm going to do it by hand. Open up the Flitz here, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to shake it up here a little bit. And I'll tell you what I'm going to start with here. And I'll show you it for a little bit, and then I'll go off camera and come back. And we'll try to keep this vid as short and efficient as possible, which I've probably already defeated that purpose. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get some of this on a Q-tip. Okay, now what we're going to start with here is we're going to start with the safety plunger. Now the area you want to hit on the safety plunger is right here on the flat bottom of the safety plunger right here. See how starting to bring off some dark there? Okay, now you can also apply the polish with your hands, which is probably going to be easier for you. And then what you're going to do is every couple of minutes come in with a clean white rag or whatever kind of rag you want and buff that back off. See the black? That's going to be so you can already see it starting to lighten up already. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off, finish this part up, and I'll get right back with you. Just a quick note here. Like I said, you can just put the polish on a rag if you want to get more leverage and be able to apply more pressure, and just apply it with a rag and then buff it by turning the rag, and you don't have to use Q-tips. So that might be an easier way for you to do that. Okay, when you're finished with the safety plunger, it should look something like this. As you can see, it has much more of a chrome-plated look now. It's just polished steel. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that piece. When you're doing this by hand, you really can't go too far, so it's really safe to do this by hand. With a Dremel, you could cut off too much metal. So that's it for the safety plunger. Now this Ghost Ultimate connector has kind of a coating on it already, but I'm still going to do it because I think I can get a little bit better polish than what's on there. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the points on this that you want to polish. Under this lip, from under this lip right here, down to about here is all that needs to be done. I'm going to polish the whole bar down to where it curves, just so it's uniform and it looks good. But from under the lip to about here. This Ghost Ultimate connector, you may be wondering, why is there holes in it? It's supposed to be, quote, self-cleaning. It's stating that any kind of extra debris, dirt, and oil will go through these holes and not ride in this channel between the trigger bar and the connector, which I'm sure there is some benefit to that, but I don't know how much that actually would work. So I'm going to polish this from here to here. Let me go ahead and get a Q-tip ready, and I'll get it started on camera, and then I'll go off camera and finish it. Okay. So basically I'm just going to do the whole front of it like that, from under the lip to the bottom. The most critical point is right here, from under the lip around these 3 holes. Then I'm going to come back in with a rag and wipe that down to buff off the compound or the polish. I don't know what I'm saying today, guys. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth right now. I don't know how good this is going to polish up for me, but I'm going to go ahead and take it off camera and finish up on this Ghost Ultimate connector. Okay, when you're done with the connector, it should look a little something like this. And you'll see that when you do the Glock factory connector, it's just going to look like a standard piece of steel, and you're really going to get it to shine good too. So here's this, guys. Also, guys, just a quick side note, if you want me to do a video on this, I will. Talking about should you carry, or should you put a 3.5 pound connector in your carry Glock if you're a civilian and you carry a concealed weapon, possible legalities and just opinions on uses of 3.5 pound connectors and standard connectors. If you'd like to see a video on that, let me know, and I'll get a video up and give you guys some facts and some things to think about. Okay, so there's that part. Okay, now on to the trigger bar. This is my new trigger. If you watched my unboxing video the other day, smooth face trigger for the G23C. Okay, now the critical points on this guy is inside the trigger bar right here. Just along this piece right here, out to the edge. This is what rubs along the connector. The same surface that I just polished is what this rides on. Metal contacting metal. Up here, you want to polish this lip here that curves upward. This is what a piece of the striker moves on when it moves, when you fire the gun. I'm probably going to end up polishing this whole square, or this whole cross here, just because it doesn't really make a difference. But the most important point is from this little tool you see back to here. That's what you want polished right there. Okay, so we have this here to the edge, this lip right here that curves up. I'm going to do the whole thing, and then you want to polish the top edge of this right here. Don't take off any metal. Polish this top edge. This is what pushes up the safety plunger that makes a way for the striker to hit the primer when you're pulling the trigger. So this is going to contact metal. So you want to polish right here. Let me get a Q-tip for reference. I want you guys to be clear on this. Got to keep in mind there's a lot of new gun owners and guys that are new to guns, and I want to explain the best way I can so there's no question in your mind. So I'm going to actually show you with the polish right where to put it, so that way you know. Okay, right here, inside of this piece out to the edge, and do that, and then in the rear this little piece of metal that curves upward in the back. Okay? And then on the top edge of the piece that activates the safety plunger that's underneath the slide. Okay, I'm going to stop the camera, and I should come back with some shiny parts if I'm lucky. Okay, when you're finished, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. Let me go ahead and light it up here for you. Olight Warrior. Loving this light, guys. Using it every day. Getting a bunch of use out of it so I can do a complete review outside for you guys. Okay. Here is the inside piece. Come on, focus. That I polished. I didn't go real hardcore on this stuff. I just did what I thought would be good enough. There's the top piece. And you're not really going to be able to see anything on this edge, but I did polish that edge out. So I'm going to start putting this gun back together, and I'll show you where these points that I polished contact each other so you know exactly what's going on with the gun. Whoops-a-daisy. I forgot a piece. You need to polish on the inside ledge of the striker right here. You do not have to take the striker apart for this. I have a new spring that I'm installing, that's why it's apart. You need to polish this right in here. Once again, let me demonstrate. Get this open. I can't believe I forgot that. What an idiot. Okay. So, right here. Here's the striker, the way it sits in the gun. You are doing the inside face right here. Do not round off that corner right there. Very important. Very importante. Okay, I'm going to turn off the camera and finish this up. Okay, when you're done, it should look something like that right here on the face. Now I'm going to reassemble the frame of the gun, show you where these metal parts contact each other to let you know why I did what I did. Okay, so basically here's what's going on with the parts I just showed you to polish. Okay, right back here you have the connector. See the upper lip? Then there's going to be one a little bit lower. That's where I polished down. It's going like this in there. Then riding against that is the inside of the trigger bar that I polished. Okay? Now as you'll see here, we polished the top of this with this little lip right here. That's what the back of the striker rides on when the gun fires. Okay, then, let me get this lined up. We polished the bottom of the safety plunger and the top of this. This pushes in the safety plunger when you fire the gun. So I hope that makes sense to you, because it sure doesn't to me. I'm just kidding. I hope it makes sense now to why you would polish those certain parts. Now, let us test the trigger after I clean up these Q-tips. Nice. Nice, smooth feeling. Got a 3.5 pound connector in there. Alright guys, there it is. This gun is ready to go. So that's it. Cannot wait to get that thing out there and get some shooting done. If you have any questions about this video, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And I guess that about covers it, guys. Until next time, this is H4T, and as always, I'm out.